CEO and founder of Classy with Christ. Won't he do it? Won't he do it? It don't matter who put you last. God put you first. Hello, classy babes, and welcome back for another video, or welcome if you're new. My name's Sandreaka Bridget, CEO and founder of Classy with Christ. I post content on faith, community, and lifestyle, so make sure you guys join the family down below by hitting that subscribe button. We are constantly growing. I thank God for that. Thank you, God. I appreciate you. God has put something on my heart to say. I keep like going back and forth with myself, like what to post. And I keep thinking, like, what was the purpose of you creating this YouTube channel to begin with? What did God first tell you when you first started? Like, go back to that conversation. Go back to that. And basically, what God has been putting on my heart to tell you guys is my story. He said, start by telling your story. Start by telling your story. I'm like, oh, my story? Which one? Which ones? You want to know before I got saved? You want to know, like, when I was born? Like, what part of my story would you like me to start off by telling these guys? And he just told me, like, right at the beginning of Sandreaka's journey. And I want to take you guys on this journey with me as well, because life is about learning and growing together. And I'm just not knowing that together. So I'm here to help you guys. I hope you guys can learn something from my videos. I hope you can see yourself in my situation or similar. And I just pray to God that this channel reaches the people or persons that it's meant to reach. And we're going to continue to grow and grow together, baby. I'm here for you guys. You guys are here for me, and I love it. I'm building my tribe one subscriber at a time. Thank you, guys. One subscriber at a time. Started from 0. And I was about to say the sky's the limit, but even above that. So I'm just trying to reach my most highest self in Christ. I want to love myself the way Christ loved me. I want everything to align with Christ, basically. So yeah, let's get started. Let's talk about it. Start at the beginning, like any other good story. At the beginning, I was born Sandreaka Santias O'Shea Nati Bridget on March the 17th, 1995. I do believe that was a Friday. That explains a lot. Explains why Friday was always my favorite day of the week. I was born in Helena, Arkansas. I do have family in Marianna, Arkansas, which is also where I grew up, and I also grew up in Ford City, Arkansas. So between Ford City, Arkansas, Helena, and Marianna, that's kind of where I've been. That's kind of my little, yeah. We're never married. They met at job court. Yep, they met at job court. My dad actually lied to my mom about his age, so I think he is like a couple of years younger than her. Yeah, she told me that. She told me that. Yeah, they met in job court. Got pregnant with me. I am my mom's middle child, and I am my dad's first child. So I'm the oldest on my dad's side. I'm the middle child on my mom's side. Yeah, we grew up. I grew up. I do know who my dad is. Don't come on here being funny. I definitely know who my dad is. Me and my dad did kind of still do to this day have a relationship, but we'll get into that later. Back then, my relationship, I was definitely a daddy's girl. Back then, I feel like I was a daddy's girl, for real. Like, I remember this one time, my mom, it was my mom and I think my older sister, but I don't know. I know it was my mom for sure, but me and my mom was going into the dollar store. We was going into Family Dollar. And I remember asking her for something, and I think it was like a coloring book or something, and she said no. And I got mad, and I said, I'm gonna call my daddy. She's like, I don't give a, call that girl. She was mad though. I don't care, call her. I'm like, give me your phone then, because I'm about to call my daddy. And I actually did end up calling my daddy. And my daddy got on the phone with her. And I heard him yelling through the phone. I'm like, yeah, get her, daddy. Get her, daddy. I'm about to get my coloring book. I don't remember if I got the coloring book or not, but I do remember that for sure. I remember being a daddy's girl for sure. I think my dad was with me when I got my ears pierced too. And he was the first one to buy me studs. I remember having a stud pair of like Mickey Mouse earrings or something. That was either Mickey Mouse or like Tweety Bird, because I was a big Tweety Bird fan. Oh, I had the Tweety Bird bed sheets. It was purple. I got that around tax time one year. Like, oh, I was so happy. I got the bed sheets I wanted. Yes, I had posters on my wall, y'all. I have B25, BK5. I can't even tell y'all who I had on my wall back then. But I had posters hung up in my room. I had my own room in my mom's house. It was lovely. I did spend time between my mom and my dad because, like I said, my parents, they weren't married. But my dad, he ended up getting married. I don't know what year he got married. I wasn't even at his wedding, y'all. I did not go to my dad's wedding. And I think at that point, that's when our relationship started to kind of get a little bit rocky. Because I felt some type of way that I wasn't invited to the wedding. And yeah, without inviting his oldest daughter. Or he said he tried to invite me, but my mom wasn't having it. And I asked her about it, and she said that's not true. So somebody lying. All I know was I wasn't there. My siblings, I think my sibling was there. I remember, yep, my sibling was there because Ty and Lil June, which are my sisters, my siblings on my dad's side, I remember them being there. Yep, and Lil E. Lil E is my stepbrother. Hi, Lil E. Eric. Lil E. Yeah. I remember feeling some type of way though, because I'm like, I'm your oldest daughter, and I'm not in your wedding. I wasn't at your wedding or none of that. So I really felt some type of way about that. And that's when me and my dad's relationship started to get rocky. I did used to stay with my dad and my stepmom for a little while. I used to visit them all the time. Like, me and my siblings on my dad's side, we were not kind of close. We were not close. I don't feel like we was close. Not as close as we could have been. Because I feel like, you know, they're my daddy kids. And I always feel some type of way. I always feel some type of way. Because, like, I mean, you got my daddy. You got a daddy and a mama. And you got my daddy. Like, that's my daddy. He was my daddy first. So I feel like my daddy walked out on us to go be with them type deal. Because she had his first son. Yeah. June. Hi, brother. He is the firstborn baby boy on my dad's side. My favorite. I love him so much. Like, me and him kind of grew up, you know, around each other a little bit. Me and my brother have always had like that special kind of relationship, you know. We 5 years apart. I was born in 1995. He was born in 2000. He is 25 this year. I'm 30. So, I mean, me and my brother has always been, to this day, me and my brother has always had that good communication, good relationship. It could be better. It could be a lot better with all of us, honestly, all of my siblings, because the girls, baby, now, whew, the brothers, I love my brothers. I love my sisters too, but we got to work on our relationship for sure. But me and my brothers, I really, really do. But when my dad, you know, got married to his wife or whatever, I just felt like, you know, he had his family or whatever, and it was kind of like F me type deal. And when I would come around, it was like everybody would blame me for stuff type deal. Like, oh, June, she was my stepmom, Keisha. She would tell my daddy, which June, they used to call him June, Spade, all type of stuff. Rika did this, and this today. Then he'll come to me, what? You did blah, blah, blah. And I try to defend myself. And, you know, of course, he gonna take the wife's word over mine anyway. So it didn't matter what I said. It was always that way, and I couldn't stand that. I really couldn't. I felt like always attacking me. They was always trying to turn my dad against me. And my dad had some type of like hatred or something towards me. I felt like, cause like, why are you constantly taking their side versus trying to listen to what I gotta say? Why am I always in the wrong? Like, when I don't do nothing, I'm in the wrong. When I do something, I'm in the wrong. Like, I'm confused. And one time, I remember my dad, like, I remember getting a whooping with a tree branch because I broke my brother's leg. I broke my brother's leg, and I remember getting a whooping with a tree branch. Yep, a real live, big ass, big old tree branch. I remember that. I had whelps and bruises everywhere. Do you think anybody in that house protected me? Do you think anybody in there came to save me? Like, yeah, I used to get whoopings by my dad. My dad used to whoop me. My mom, she ain't never whooped me. My mom ain't never whooped me. Yeah, my dad did the whooping, the discipline for sure. And I just feel like it was always targeted at me type deal. For real. Because me and Lil June got the most whoopings. Yep, me and Lil June got the most whoopings. Yep. And I don't even remember being like that terrible to where I needed whoopings like that. Like, for the most part, I thought I was a pretty darn good kid. And if you ask my mom, she would say I'm a pretty darn good kid. So, like, why was my dad beating on me like I'm not his blood? Like, I'm not his child? Like, why do I feel this way toward my dad? My dad is supposed to be the first man I fall in love with. And for a moment, he was. But then he turned into somebody I didn't even know. I didn't even recognize. Not only did I start seeing my dad less and less, like, it seemed like he wasn't the same person. Every time I would go back over to visit him, it was like he'd be a different person each and every time. And every time I come over, it'd be a problem. Oh, Drinker did this, Drinker did that. We couldn't, so we would eat or whatever, but we had to cook the meals. Our stepmama made me and Lil E, which is her oldest son, so my stepbrother. She made us cook, so we was cooking. We would cook chicken. That's how we learned how to cook. We learned how to cook chicken, rice, and stuff. That's why Lee's so good at cooking, baby, because he used to be in the kitchen cooking. For real. She had us in the kitchen literally cooking. And of course we ate. She wasn't like that. But it was like we couldn't get seconds. We only got a little bit of food. Meanwhile, they got piles and piles of food on their plate. My dad and my stepmom, their plate is piled up, but we gotta eat portion control type stuff. And I'm like, dang, okay, I want more. Like, can I get more? And then she would get mad or get an attitude if I said I wanted more. Or anybody for that matter. I don't think we got seconds. Or maybe we did. I don't know. Whatever. I didn't feel like we did. I was still hungry. Because I remember a couple of times I would go down because she had stairs in her apartment. I would go down the stairs and, sneak me up some food to the room, hide it under my pillow, and eat it at night. Most definitely. I definitely hid cookies, snacks, all type of stuff under my pillow. Yep. Yep. I did that. My dad would, sometimes he would eat dinner with us, but a lot of times he would come home like a little bit late. And I never really understood that because I don't remember my dad. I'm lying. He had a job at KFC. I'm not sure if he was still working there or not. But, I mean, that's the only job I know my dad had at that time. So, whatever he was doing outside that late, hey, I don't know. Hey. I don't know. But, when on the days he did not come home until late, he his plate would be in the microwave or whatever. He'll just have to warm that bud up and, go on about his day. I got a whooping because of my diary. My little sister named Naya, she's not the baby girl no more, but at the time she was the baby girl of their family. And and she got a hold of my diary. I had a diary, one of the ones you know, you fold over and it has a little snap on it. So I had that, and I think I hid it. Of course I hid it. I hid it somewhere, like under my pillow, under my bed, somewhere. I don't remember where I hid it at, but I know I didn't leave it out in the open. I know I didn't. Like, no. So my sister took my dad my journal. My sister took my dad my journal, and he read my journal, and he was not happy about what was in my journal. So not only did he read my journal, he got mad about that. He called me into him or whatever, and he was like, "What's this about?" And I was just shocked, because why are you holding my diary? Why are you reading and holding my diary? Y'all, my heart stopped. My heart sunk. Like, I just knew whatever was about to happen next was not going to be pretty. It wasn't going to be pretty. So he opened up the journal, and he was at a page, and he was like, "Here, read that." And I'm like, he was like, "Read it out loud." And I started reading, and he getting madder and madder. I'm like, oh my God, this is not about to be good. Oh my God, protect me. He about to beat the out of me. And that's exactly what he did. He was like, for every word that's on this page, and it was a long page too, y'all, front and back. He said, for every word that's on this page, you getting 10 licks. 10 licks. Baby, by the time you done, I'm going to be, what do you mean? And why are you reading my stuff? I remember being so upset and furious. Oh, I was so furious. So very furious. And meanwhile, my little sister and them is doing what? Listening to me get my butt whooped. Listening to me get my butt whooped. Because you decided to take my personal journal and give it to my pops. Why would you do that? Of course, she was young, y'all, and she didn't know no better and all this other stuff, but man, I was mad in the mud. I used to talk about running away. Me and my cousin Chemo used to get in trouble together all the time. That's where most of my problems came from too, because when me and her got together, yeah, that's my favorite cousin, my first cousin, I do believe. On my dad's side, yeah, me and Chemo. She a light-skinned little thing. I'm a dark chocolate little thing, and we just be getting into some stuff. But yeah, I was mad about that, because why would you do that? And y'all, I have not picked up a journal or a diary until like what, 2020? That's how long it's been since I picked up a journal. And I didn't even notice that or realize that until I started journaling again. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I haven't wrote in a journal since I last got my butt whooped by my dad about my diary. Oh, goodness. My dad. I love my dad. My dad smokes. My dad drinks. My dad was very abusive to my stepmom. And that was another thing that really turned me off and away from him. Because I'm like, if you can do this to your wife, what are you capable of doing to your children? Like, growing up, all I seen was like toxic relationships. And I thought that was normal. I literally thought toxic relationships were normal. Because that's what I was seeing. That's what I was around. I don't think my mom had any toxic relationships. I don't remember her dating or anything with us. Even to this day, y'all, she don't date. So I appreciate her for that, but girl, go date. Go date, please. But I seen a man put his hands on my mom. But my mom said my dad was kind of abusive to her too, so that's why they didn't work out. Which is understandable, because baby, don't put your hands on me. I might round and fight back. I might grab something and knock you out with it. Don't fight me. That's why to this day, y'all, like, I hate to see domestic violence. I hate to see somebody in a messed up situation. I see red. I see red, and it take me back. I don't like abuse. at all. I don't like verbal abuse because my dad was very verbally abusive as well. He was physically abusive, mentally abusive. Like, yes, he was. He absolutely was. And I don't think he was doing that on purpose, or maybe he was. Maybe he don't know. He didn't know. He don't care. He do care. That's my daddy. That's the man I that's the man I know is daddy. So that's what it is. I just don't like abuse though. When I used to see him beat on her and punch out windows and all type of stuff. Like, no. And then the infidelity and stuff came from him as well. And I feel like he was kind of like that before they got married. Not kind of. He was definitely out here in these streets and sheets before he got married. And when he got married, I don't think that stopped. Because at some point, my dad ended up having kids outside of his marriage. I think he has at least 3 to 4 outside kids right now. These are extra brothers and sisters. So last time I checked, I had 6 on my dad's side. But now today, he's telling me it's like close to 9, 10, 9. Like, I can't keep up no more. I won't keep up no more. I lost count at 6, boo. I know the 6. That's the 6 I know. Don't be adding these other extra kids on. And just because they got your last name, like, do you got a DNA test on all these kids? Where's my DNA test? I asked you for a DNA test and you didn't like that. You felt some type of way. But had enough nerves to say my mom slept with your brother, which is where the confusion with my last name came from. Yeah. Absolutely. That's where things really start to get. It's getting sticky. Okay, so the story is, I hope my people don't see this. So the story is, my dad effed on my cousin. My dad had sex with my mom's cousin, and she produced the baby. And my mom slept with my uncle and produced the baby. So the question was, growing up on my mom's side, a lot of people would say, well, your cousin is actually your sister. And I'm like, first of all, this girl is not my sister. Don't do that. Yeah, Pookie. I ain't never liked Pookie. That's her name. That's the lady that slept with my dad. Pookie. And this little girl she had, Stank. Yeah, Pookie and Stank. Yeah, let that sink in. So Pookie slept with my dad and produced Stank. So Stank is supposed to be my sister. No, she's not. Boy, bye. So my mom slept with my uncle and possibly produced me. Whoa. And y'all, I didn't find this out until just recently, a couple of years ago, when I went to my parents and asked them, like, hey, who am I? Where am I from? Why does none of my names match? Y'all about to be mind blown. Y'all about to be mind blown, because I absolutely was. I went to my parents and I asked them separately, of course, who am I? Where did I come from? Where did my names, Santias, O'Shea, Natif, where did that come from? And okay, so my mom said my first name came from my grandma, Sandra. My grandma's name is Sandra. They named me Sandreaka. Makes sense? Okay. I can get behind that. Santias, O'Shea, Natif. I'm like, where did that come from? And my mom told me she actually let my older sister name me which my older sister, she is actually 5 years older than me. She was born in 1990. Hi, sissy. I was born in 1995. So, yeah. That's how I got that. And then Bridget, y'all, on my birth certificate, it says Bridget with 2 T's. On my social, it says Bridget with 1 T. And I remember asking my dad one time, I was like, Dad, what was the confusion about my last name? Like, is it Bridget with 1 T or is it Bridget with 2 T's? And what's the difference? I kid y'all not. My dad said Bridget with 1 T is for the kids that he knows for sure are his kids. The Bridget with 2 T's are the children that he's unsure of. Like, wow. Wow. Wow, guys. I am your firstborn daughter. And y'all is so unsure. Y'all never agreed on anything, obviously. It shows. It shows that y'all never agreed on anything. It shows that y'all relationship wasn't that good. It shows that, like, y'all really didn't give a about me for real. And after that moment, after that realization, after he said that, and then I found out about my mom sleeping with my uncle and, you know, possibly that. Baby, that was a lot. I found this out, a year or two ago. So that is still very recently. And I did ask my parents for a DNA test, guys, which, yeah, that was recent too, about a year or two ago. I asked my parents for a DNA test after that because, like, what do you mean? And they both got mad at me and felt some type of way towards me because I asked them for a DNA test. But you literally just told me you're not sure if I'm your daughter or not because of my name. You literally said Bridget with 2 T's means it's for your children that you're not sure of. And Bridget with 1 T are the ones you are sure about. Absolutely sure about. And I'm not supposed to feel no type of way about that. And I'm not supposed to ask you any more questions. No, I want a DNA test. Please and thank you. Because at this point, I don't know who to trust. I can't trust nobody. My world is just by Sandreaka Bridget, which is Sandreaka Bridget, Bridget. But on my social, on my birth certificate, it says Sandreaka without the A on the end, Bridget with 2 T's. And my middle names, they all out of order. They not in the same order as how I say it. It's just a lot of confusion, a lot of questions I had, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of feeling alone, a lot of feeling like I was, you know, not with the right family or I wasn't in the right space. It was a lot, guys. It was a lot, for real. It was a lot. It was a lot to take in. It was a lot. And to find this out as you're older, yeah. And then to this day, I still don't feel like I got the answers I need to get. But I'm working through it. And God has confirmed and told me who I am in Christ Jesus, which is all that matters to me. So it is what it is. What's done in the dark will always come to the light. Yeah. It would always come to the light, but I did feel like at that time that I needed answers, baby. That in a bombshell, I was like, okay, let me fall back. Remind you, all of his wife's kids, all of them have the same last name, Bridget with 1 T's. They got a first name, they got 1 middle name, and they got all at the same last name. And then there's me, your oldest. I'm your oldest. And I'm Bridget with 2 T's. Sandreaka without the A on the end. All these extra middle names. That doesn't even... What? And the crazy thing is, as well, my 3 girls. I'm the middle. So my mom kids, all of them have a first name, a middle name, and a last name. A first name, a middle name, and a last name. I'm the only one in my whole entire family, on my mom's side and my dad's side, between all of us siblings, I am the only one with 3 middle names, y'all. 3. And the names on my birth certificate do not match the names that's on my social. But guess what? I'm still the same person. Like, oh, that's so wicked. That's so crazy. The names on my social do not match the name that's on my birth certificate, which also does not match the name that I go by today. What? Help it make sense. Help it make sense. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.